We are so happy to be back with E. Jean Carroll and Mary Trump. Mary, the book deals with, it is delicious, as E. Jean said, but there's some darkness and light, as all human life and the human experience showcases. Not so with Donald Trump. And a lot of what we know about his pathological darkness, we know from your books and the opportunities we've had to interview you. Miraculous, I don't even know the adjective to use, but there is something so extremely deviant about this new run for the presidency. I mean, Make America Great Again was a throwback. It was racist. It was a dog whistle. But I Am Your Retribution is like a Hollywood monster mash. What should the country be prepared for as he prepares to run a third time?
You know, Nicole, when I was thinking about being on the show today, I just kept thinking, you know, plus ça change. We continue to remain mired in this loop where I think a significant minority of people and the entirety of the Republican Party either think something's going to shift or that they're somehow going to escape unscathed. And neither of those things is true. The darkness has always been there, but again, the more he gets away with, the darker it gets, the more he's enabled, the darker it gets. And let's face it, I don't know that it matters that he is to some degree finally being held to account, because I think on the one hand, that increases his street cred for some of his followers. And on the other hand, regardless, he will be, unless something happens, the Republican nominee for president of the United States in 2024.
Mary, what do you think he means when he says, I am your retribution?
He means he's his retribution. Because as has been well established, and as you well know, he doesn't care about anybody else. This is all his grievance, his pain, his need to fight back. And, you know, with all of the cards in his back pocket, by the way, with all of the help he needs, it is his desire to undo whatever damage he believes has been done to him. So this is a person, and it's shocking to me in some ways that we still need to have this conversation, but we do. I was saying this in 2020, there's no bottom. There's nothing he won't stoop to. There is nothing he won't reach for. And if it means bringing everybody down with him, if he thinks he's going down, that's what's going to happen.
E. Jean, the only person to lay a glove on him in the legal arena is you. And again, I know from your attorney that there's nothing you can talk about in that arena. But I wonder what you've heard from other victims of sexual abuse or defamation that, you know, fuels you to sort of continue to reach and work toward the light in these creative projects, and whether there's any sort of full circle experience in hearing from other victims of sexual abuse who watched your trial and watched how it was covered and watched how it ended.
Nicole, you would be amazed. Not only me, but Robbie Kaplan, my brilliant attorney. We have received an avalanche of letters from across the country. And Robbie and I are right now talking about creating a new platform and making it possible for women to come forward. The very act of women coming forward brings power to other women. It's the very act of speaking up. And Robbie and I are in serious talks about giving women a platform and giving them legal help. I can't go into it, but there is help on the way, and by some of the smartest minds in America. And it's going to be brilliant. And it is stunning when you see women speaking up, how much power it gives to other women. Just because I spoke up this little bit, now hundreds of women are writing to us and saying, what can they do and how can they speak up? And we've seen the repercussions already. The woman in California sued Cosby, the woman in New York. It is happening across the country. I would say this is not a downer. This is an upper, and it's we are rising up, and the voices, the stories, Nicole, are breathtaking. They're just breathtaking. Women across the country, they're gathering courage, and I just got to say, watch out.